through the fight of storm, like X-Men, I still stay standing. Thank you for all you have given me. My mind has clarity. No judgment is still stand strong through the fight of storm.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I'm just making sure that my sound is all clear. If my sound is not clear, please, I beg of anybody listening to let me know it's not clear. If it is clear, you can simply just type the number 7. We getting ready to get started. I'm just making sure I got my notes clear. I'm allowing a few moments to let people get into the building, whoever chooses to come through. Man, let's talk about some things, all right? With that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Enjoy the tunes.
I'm a fallen angel from sky. Up above, I'm that man that think is a thug. I'm your drug and your plug. Wings tucked, I seen pain, seen blessings, seen luck. Ran over by train, that's about 8 trucks. Made it really gritty, but never I'm no slut to the money and fame. You can keep your chain, we free men over here. And in case you didn't know, my favorite color is here. Yes, I'm here, not fresh to death, no stress, no worries. All burdens, I done buried closed coffin. I'm the beauty of the beast, and a man I found often. I'm the cure to infection. My reflection is broken down in sections. Retired chef outside, still cooking. I be rocking with best. Thank you, good looking. Y'all must be lunching on mothers. If you not from my section, then you cool, but not a brother. Lone Star, the astronaut from above. You looking for a fix? I'm your brand new blood. Shotgun slug, flood of the love spreads. Truck by train, made it out by thread. Should've be dead, but rose from darkness and walking with an oath. I'm not the goat, I'm shepherd. Blending into the world tree, hiding a leaper. Mr. 7, I'm ghost in flesh.
Okay. Let's do this one cammed up this time. You know, a lot of times I like to kind of keep the radio mode and see where we are with the whole, you know, how things fluctuate. Respect. Welcome back to another episode of Smitty's Corner, aka Lighthouse 301. I have quite a few different little topics and subjects about the little nooks and crannies in life that, honestly, let's be for real, most of us genuinely overlook. You know, there are things that we just bypass. So I ain't even gonna hold you. Y'all know how I am. Outside of asking you, how are you? How is your headspace? And how's the day been treating you? I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to back to the how are you? How was your day? And how has your day been treating you? Because Lord knows if anybody asked you that today in a genuine sense. We're gonna have some fun with this one. I hope at least. I know I will. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 short little topics. I just want to present what the question is, give my take. Again, let me let y'all know something. The longer the shows last is contingent upon the interaction. If it's just a ghost watch, if I'm the only one giving my view, if there's no interaction, the show is shorter, which I have no problems with. I just go back to doing what I'm doing. But if you all want the show extended, I don't even ask you to send me money to extend the show. All I ask is you just pay attention. That's the only thing you need to be able to afford. Can you pay attention? Okay, now. Respect. So let's go ahead and let's get to the first one. So the first question right here is, now, half of these, for the record, half of these is me, half of this is Chat GPT. So I got to go ahead and be honest with where the questions derive, but I believe they're all very good questions. So what do you believe the purpose of life is? Why were you created? Right? It's not how we ask if we are created. It's more so if we're asking, what is the purpose of? See, to ask God, why did you make me? Why am I here? Why was I born in the family that I was born into? That right there in itself is going to bring amongst questioning God as opposed to asking God questions. Now, I just want to know, what's my purpose? Why am I here? The number one thing that people deal with when it comes to identity crisis is just simply not knowing why they even were born in the first place. Can you imagine that? Being on planet Earth for 20, no, shoot, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, some odd years of your life, and you don't even know why you were created? Now, there are a lot of people, if you go to the religious aspect of it, we are strictly, solely created to worship. That's it. Forget your happiness, forget whatever bliss that you have. The only happiness and bliss that you should have through the religious perspective is you're sent here to worship. Then we have more of a freelance thought space. You were sent here to be whatever it is you want to be. There are no boundaries, there are no limitations. Now, that one in particular, I find to be very damaging to people overall, is because what happens is when you tell a person you can do anything, there's nothing that you can't do that you put your mind to. And when that person actually goes off and tries to do that very thing that you told them that they can do, and it's outside of either their means or physical bounds, you know what happens? You set that person up for being discouraged to even want to get up on a horse and try again. You see? So again, just to rephrase the question, I like to kind of move it a little slower. I don't want to rush through them. What do you believe the purpose of life is? And why were you in particular created? Like, because when I think about it, right? Like, I would ask myself, somebody like a Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody like a Ted Bundy, somebody like a small mustache man, all of these individuals that Idi Amin, we can go down the line of tyrants throughout history. What was the purpose of them being created? Now, the only thing that I can think of in a spiritual logical sense, yes, that's right, the spiritual logicness of life, they had to be created simply to let me and you know what not to do and where we don't want to go if we end our lives in that state. Someone, like something, somebody has to be the example. You know what? In another form, somebody also can be the example when it comes to shoot, being of a great role model. You're being an example. You're actually showing people how you should operate in certain fashions and forms in life. You should do that. Absolutely. You smell me now? Let's go ahead and move on to number 2, right? Let's get to number 2. But first, before we do, we got to give a round of applause for the first round. Why? Because that was very much so significant. All right, now. Number 2, are you connected to your surroundings and or just as much of what exists around you? Let's do this one more again for the win. Are you connected to your surroundings or are you just existing around your surroundings? To be connected is entirely different than just being around. I could hang around a group of people that I'm not connected to. I'll give you a perfect example. Have you ever been in a room full of people, but yet you still feel vacant? Have you ever been in a room full of people, but yet you're not looking at the individuals, you're looking through them? Let's read this question one more again for the win. It's very profound. Are you connected to your surroundings or are you just existing in existence? Everything connects in which I write these questions because it still goes back to what do you believe your purpose is and why you were sent here. And that's where we get the NPCs, okay? That's where we get that dynamic in particular from. And yes, this is one of those labs. Feel comfortable, feel good. Sparky J. Get your edibles. Go get your sparkling spring water and your bowl of cherries. Grab your popcorn and your Pepsi. Whatever it is that you need, just go ahead and cool it and kick it with your boy for a bit. Let's really talk about some things outside of all of the nonsense we're constantly listening to. That's my purpose. My purpose is to give you that different touch of flavor when it comes to this internet. All right, now. So, are you connected to your surroundings or are you just existing in existence? Yeah. For a long time, I have been one who was existing in my existence while knowing I have a purpose. It's almost like when you're dreaming and you know that you're dreaming. You're having a dream, but like, I know this is a dream. And you ever try to wake up from a dream? I know how to do it. I done mastered that. Sidebar real quick. What I do is I blink really, really hard in my dream, and then I try my best to pop my eyes open. And I don't know how believable that is to you, but it actually works. But let's stay on topic. You got your NPCs. And a name, right? So NPCs, a non-playable character, is only the person who wakes up and just only exists. There is no drive, right? There's no real motivation to their life. The only thing that they do is they exist. And that's what makes you non-playable. You being a non-playable character, it has nothing to do with the fact that people just don't vibe with you. It has nothing to do with how much people like you. It has nothing to do with how much people value you. It has everything to do with the value that you bring that is undeniable. You gotta have, you gotta have a headspace of I'm undeniable. There's nothing that I cannot do. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's move it along to another section of this, right? Hmm. Signs of the times. Now this one right here, yeah, okay, let's go. Signs of the times. Do we or are we still waiting on the end, or is the end already here? One more again for the win. Signs of the times. Are we still waiting on the end, or is the end already here? What do you think? What's your thoughts? Tag in if you want to. Like, seriously, tag in if you want to. Stop being shy. Y'all do know it shows me y'all watching, right? So just tag in. I know you here. Signs of the times. Do you really believe we're still waiting on the end, or do you believe the end is already nigh? As in here. So what do you see it as? I'm gonna tell you right now what my headspace is the end of days has not arrived just of yet, but the signs in which the end of days consist of has shown itself decades ago. Which y'all think this is some like what between 2024 and 2026? No. The signs of the times have been showing face and been making it very clear of what it is that's ahead of us. And that is an absolute doom, gloom, and destruction. And I said it like that. I'm not here to pussyfoot and baby you. I'm here to tell you exactly what it is that's ahead of us if we keep going down the road in which we travel. If we want to keep going this way, there's going to come a wall that's going to be a dead end that you cannot cross. And it's not just a wall. There's like molten lava pouring down from this wall to the point where you can't even walk up to the wall itself. It's that dangerous. Follow my analogies. Okay. Hmm. The signs of the times. So many different biblical prophecies, so many things that we ourselves have seen in our own life at one point, and we see it play out exactly the same way again. And it doesn't even have to mean that it's in regards to your life in particular. And it probably ain't got nothing to do with that. No, no. The signs of the times is just like how when your body tells you you're thirsty and you're hungry. You know what that is? That's the signs of the time. You need to get you some water and a meal. I like to say water because it's just the freshest version of what to drink. The signs of the times, the first indication is within self. Your soul, everything I'm telling you inside of you, you're going to have that inclination. You're going to have that fruition. You're going to have that intuition. And you know what it's all going to be derived from? Your hindsight. If you pay attention good enough. Your hindsight is what's going to bring about that foresight. That foresight is nothing but a byproduct of the hindsight. Thus, that 10 and 10 make your 2020. Keep these things in mind. Now let's go ahead and move down to 5. What are some daily moments that feel different as opposed to in your younger days? Repeat that. What are some daily moments in your life today that are different as opposed to what you felt in your younger days? Off rip, boom, my mind goes straight to communication. Everyday basic. I'm not talking about the deep conversations in your relationship. I am speaking specifically and solely about just everyday basic communication, like, hey, how are you doing? Without somebody taking that as a threat. I could say 2 words nowadays and they can mean something totally different. Watch these 2 words. I always use them. You walk up to somebody, you look at them, you smile, and you say, hey, what's good? To most people, that just means, hey, what's up? Nothing much, cool and chilling. Let me go up to that same person, and now my demeanor is different, my energy is shifted, and I use the exact same 2 words. Hey, bro, what's good? See the difference? I said the exact same thing. There was nothing different about what I just said. I said the exact same 2 words, but I put them in 2 different dynamics. So let's read this question again. Here we go. All right. Signs of the time. Are we still waiting on the end? Or is that already here? No. Wait. No. That's not it. What are some daily moments you feel different as opposed to today? There we go. My bad. What are some daily moments that you feel that are different today as opposed to back then? The ability to be able to approach a person. We have destroyed each other's mentalities so viciously when it comes to me being able to trust you. Mm, Shoot, man. Me being able to just, befriend a person. All of that is like smooth out the window. Just like how back when I was coming up as an 80s baby, when I was coming up, a lot of people was able to just leave their doors open in the summertime. Just keep the screen door closed for the bugs. We all know the story, right? Grandma, auntie, and them, my mama. But what it is that I peeped is that same security we used to have is no longer. Now, again, think about how safe we felt when we were coming up, if you're old enough, all right? If you a millennial and beyond, or before, should I say, a millennial and before, you should know what I'm talking about. We came up in a day and age in which you actually were able to leave the door open. We actually traveled farther than we used to travel now that most kids do nowadays. And guess what? We didn't have no cell phone. You know the best what line of communication your parents had? Driving around the neighborhood looking for your black ass and calling a friend's house and talking to their parents. Yeah, so is he over there? But tell him to get to this damn house. Like that's what we grew up to. Tell me, am I lying? So, what are some of the moments that feel different as opposed to today? Food. People have so little love inside of themselves as a majority, we don't even know how to cook with it anymore. You know, that actually used to be a true ingredient, just as important as salt, paprika, and some hot sauce itself. God dang it. That was an ingredient. Love. Y'all just follow me because I go a few places here and there. So you got to know how to keep up with Smitty when I'm on my. So everything that we're seeing nowadays, when it comes to, does it feel different? It does. It does. We don't connect how we used to. I mean, heck, think about it. Like, we used to love watching on TV something called marathons. Now people can, for the most part, only take short content. It's like only short content is what people can take. We're not connecting how we used to because it's either from the fact of life has made us way too busy in order to be able to connect, or people just don't trust how they used to. It's just the trust factor is gone. You smell me now? So let's go ahead because I mean that was more so of a short answer for that one. Whatever you guys have that you may want to speak about when it comes to this, again, type it in the chat. Don't be shy. I know we like to ghost watch, and I don't want to be known I was watching you, Smitty. It said you had roaches. But let's just be for real. Yeah, I can't deny that you actually do attract to the content. So just if you want to type your comments in, let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to the next one. Hmm. Let's see. Let's go to this one right here. When you think about your childhood, right? Your childhood dreams. When you think about your childhood dreams, do they align with today and how it is you think? One more again for the win. When you think about your childhood dreams, do they align and do they coincide with what it is that you feel today? Nope. 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 Because my childhood dreams came from a state of mind in which I was younger. The old saying how like I was a boy, so I did as boys do, or something like that. And now that I'm a man, I do as a man does. I think I got it. It's been a while since I had to quote that old school saying. Reading it again. When you think about your childhood dreams, do they align with today, or has it changed completely? One thing I can say is who I am is still who I am today. Um, my my outlook on life is the only thing that's changed. The essence of who I was since I was 5 years old is still the same. Humorous, playful, the whole nine. But my outlook on life has changed because of what it is I've been through. Of course, it's changed me. And I said that earlier. I said it earlier. I forgot which question it was for, not to get too off track, but to stay on alignment. You know, it definitely changes you when you experience and go through certain traumas. Do you really think that as somebody who's been free his entire life, then one day you hear the smack of a gavel and now you're doing 7 years behind bars? You think you come out the same? And I don't mean that in that zesty way everybody tries to say. I'm talking about your mentality. I'm talking about how you look at people in life. That shit not going. It's not going to be the same, right? So like when I think about my childhood dreams, that was during an innocent state of my life. I wasn't tainted. You see, I didn't, I wasn't, my mind was not like twisted and perverted by the world when I had whatever dream I had. Man, I had to go ahead and adjust that. I had to adjust it because how I used to think when I was a boy is not how I think as a man. So again, when I say, yes, I am still exactly who I've been ever since the age of 5, I also recognize that I've changed multiple times throughout growing up. Shoot, look, in my 40s, I'm not the same man that I was when I was in my 20s, let alone if we take this all the way back to when you were a kid, a whole lot has changed. You all know my very first, quick fun fact story time. Let me take y'all down the history of what it was I wanted to be as I grew up. I've spoken about it before, but just in case you knew. When I was in the 3rd grade, I had to do a project and a report about what I want to be when I grow up. And I also had to ask one of my parents what did they want to be when they grow up. So I interviewed my father, and my father's into, and look, I did it on the play school. I had a play school tape recorder with a cord and a microphone. It was just, and you could really record with blank tapes. Yeah, blank tapes. Yeah, Google that if you're not here. So I was asking my father, I said, Dad, why did you become a chef? He said, because as long as there's somebody who gets hungry, I will never be without a job. If that wasn't one of the most smartest for like a 8-year-old or a 7-year-old I've ever heard. So then the second part is my father was supposed to ask me, what do I want to be and why? And what I told him, I said, the very first thing I ever wanted to be was a stand-up comedian. I don't know why. At the age of 8, maybe because I always found this ability to make people laugh and smile. And I don't mean that in a class clown way. I don't mean that in I'm the drunk dude in my underwear standing up on the chandeliers with a lampshade on my head at the New Year's Eve party. No, I don't mean no sucker clown you to bed way. I mean just naturally my personal sense of humor. People have always found an attraction to, and they love to hear what I have to say, and they always found it funny in a laughing with you, not at you way. That was the very first thing I ever wanted to be. Then, so now I move along and I get older. Now I am in middle school. Now that I'm in middle school, I don't know why, for some reason, something clicked in my mind and said I want to be an artist. I wasn't doing any of the art I was doing that I do now. I was not sketching. I wasn't sculpting stone and carving, stone and wood carvings. I wasn't doing spoken word and poetry. I wasn't doing any of that. Something clicked and said, that's what I want to be. Finally, I hit high school. When I hit high school, that's when everything sunk in. Because I finally started to sketch and I finally started to write. What I found was I had a lot of pent up anger. Shout out to my 10th grade English teacher, Miss Sheila. Shout out to Miss Sheila. You know what Miss Sheila told me? She said that you need to just sit down over in the corner somewhere and you need to either write or draw out everything that's going on in your mind. You know, me discovering that I'm an artist, it actually came from me being in detention. I was in detention in the 10th grade, 9th or 10th grade. And she said, go sit in the corner. I want you to, and she gave me 2 forms of paper. She gave me blank copy paper, and then she gave me, notebook writing paper. She gave me a pad I can write in. And she said, I don't care what you do. She gave me a box of color pencils and a bunch of pencils and a few pens. And she said, I need for you to sit here and I need for you to tell me why you are going through what you're going through what it is that you can express, because your words are coming off too angry. So I need you to express that. Boom. You know what I did? I found out that I wanted to be an artist. When I got finished, I wrote my first poem. Didn't even know I had the ability to write poetry. I also wanted to go ahead and do sketching, do art. Found out that I got a pretty good ability for drawing facial features and life and plants, right? So when I think about what it is that I feel today, right? And when I think about my childhood dreams and how do they align with what it is today, it's because that whatever it is I was going through, at those moments, whatever it is it was, it never shifted. I always, like, from the 10th grade, I figured out what my outlet is. Thus, I was slowly on the course of my purpose. I figured it out. This is okay. This is I can communicate with people through my mind. And I don't mean Xavier from X-Men. I mean through my mind and what my mind can create and bring to fruition onto a canvas and onto paper. Now, for the main question, just in case you got a little sidetracked, because I'm just giving you some story time. Again, I don't share enough with you guys. When you think about your childhood dreams, do they align with what it is, or has it changed completely? Yes, it has. You want to know why? Society forced it to change, because true art is not looked at the same. It's not regarded. We don't have the same, you did that? We don't have that same thing as much as is it still out there? Yeah, of course. For like the absolutely extremely crazy, heavenly, insane artists. But for those of us who, let's just say, are artists, right? The way I communicate with people used to be through my music, what it is I draw. And now that AI has taken over music, now that AI has taken over how we do art, how often do you see somebody online actually be like, this is what I did by hand, as opposed to, look at what I developed in like 4 minutes with AI? I'm not knocking it. I'm not because I use it. Them songs I be playing and stuff, I did that on AI. But the one thing I'm very, very grateful and thankful for is that it's still my words. That's still me. Like them lyrics you hear, I wrote that shit. I didn't put the beat together. I didn't do the I didn't do the there we go, mix and master. I didn't mix and master it. But I did put that together and I orchestrated it. I made sure that I typed in what it is I want the feel to be. So I am still, in a sense, creating. But has it changed? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's why I still love to draw and write, because it keeps me grounded in what is the true essence of me. I don't want that to be lost. So it is different from when I was younger, because I have to move different now that I'm older. Now that I'm at a certain place in my life, I gotta move different. Okay, now, Miss Joy in the building. I'm just now looking at the chat, beloved, so please don't mind me. I tell people that all the time. Y'all know how it is, Miss Joy. You know how it is, girl. But let's go ahead and let's move on to this next question, right? Go ahead and get to this next question. All right, now. What do you see now as an adult that you did not see in your past? How easily people can let you down, and the fabrics of life. There are many fabrics in this life, and each fabric has layers just like an onion does. Reading the question again. What do you see now as an adult that you did not see in your past? Well, one, I can tell you I never saw the train coming. Oh man, don't mind me. You gotta laugh at it. You gotta laugh at it to keep from crying, right? I never saw that coming. Right? What do I see now? I see people in this life for what it is. Not it is. See, like back when I was at a certain mental age state, I only saw the world for what I wanted it to be. I saw the world for how I view it should be. And one day I had to wake up and be like, it's not what you think, sir. Let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about right there. What do you see now as an adult you didn't see in the past? Once upon a time, you could not convince me that there isn't good and love in every human. Ask me if I feel that way now. I had to get old enough. I had to develop enough discernment. I had to have enough life actual experience, boots on the ground to recognize there are some evil people out here. I mean, evil. Not conniving, not deceptive, not nasty, evil. So I never saw that at first. You want to know why? Because I was blinded by my own purity and youth. I truly did believe that every person on planet Earth has good in them. That's not the case at all. Listen, that's like trying to say all berries and plants you can eat. If it grew from the earth, you can eat it and consume it. That's not the case. Some plants are very much so for medicinal reasons and they heal you. But then you also have the dynamic of go ahead and try to eat some poison ivy and rub it on your body if you want to. Are you killing me? Go ahead and eat eucalyptus. That's what koalas eat. You know, the koala bear, nature fact, real quick, is the only animal species that can eat eucalyptus. To any and everybody else, it is like arsenic. You might as well have drank sulfuric acid. You're not going to make it. How am I connecting it? Because I know some people get lost. What is he talking about? No, you stay right here. Follow me because I know what I'm talking about. Let's see if you do. The things that I see now that I did not see in the past is based upon my discernment. through my experiences, through many times of getting burnt, that hurt. Through many times of falling and being like, shit, I need to get back up. Right? Through many times of going through heartache. And I'm like, I ain't going about a relationship like that no more. Whatever the category may be that you think of, that's exactly how I look at and play that out. You smell me now? Let's go ahead and get to the final question, number 8. And of course, as you guys know, once I'm done, I'm just going to briefly skim through each one and recap, just in case there are people who got in the building later on and didn't hear the beginning. So let's get it. Do you think that, hold on, I can't see it. Do you think that do you think that family values hold the same weight and relevance today that it did yesterday? So I believe that family values still hold the same relevance today. No, because you niggas don't even care about the kids. I mean, because when we talking about family, that's the most important. And I don't mean everybody, and I don't even mean anybody in this chat. Because I know majority of people who attract to this channel, it's because we here, we like-minded, we tap in. Let me read that question again. Do you think that family values still hold the same weight, and is it still as relevant today as it was yesterday? No. How do you even get to the format in which you have a family? You know how you go about that? First, there has to be connection between man and woman. We've totally obliterated that. You got some shit called MGTOW. Then you have your group of women that just like, all niggas is trash, all men ain't shit. Okay? So do we still hold the same family values? We don't even hold the same. We don't even hold the same relationship values. We don't even hold the same common courtesy and respect values. I don't even know how to jump all the way across the lake. I think I got to skip a few stones and see how far I can get across. No. No. Do you think that family values still hold the same weight? No, they don't. Y'all would say F them kids in a heartbeat. How many times have you yourself personally online seen such and such left just because they wanted to live a better life? How many times online have you seen this woman gave this man everything, and for whatever reason, he still felt like he got to go stick his dang in everything moving and walking? Destroying, defiling. Look, I'll say this, man. And yes, I'm gonna drop a name on this one. It ain't like the niggas gonna hear this shit on my funky ass channel. But what I'm saying is that when I say, do you think family values still hold the same weight? My answer is 2 words: Anton Daniels. Let that sit. I'll let that marinate. Do we still hold the same values? Not when you have multiple people who move in the headspace of Anton Daniels. Let that sit, let it marinate. And the reason why I named him is because he's a large enough name that we can go ahead and get a good feel and perspective think of how when they say his numbers are going up, why do you think the numbers are going up? It's because there are so many people who feel what he's saying. They agree. They coincide with the shit. And I'm not even doing this to flip it and switch it and put it on somebody. So don't you dare get that twisted. You can get up out of here if that's what you think I'm about to do. I'm just using him as an example when we talk about family values. I believe he's a prime example of somebody who has totally obliterated anything that we ever thought family values were supposed to consist of. And it's not just him, it's many more. All right, so and y'all don't I'm trying. I know I'm trying not to smoke on screen, man. I'm trying my best, y'all. God work with me. God's still working with me. Just work with me, all right? God's still working with me. But like, nah, seriously, when you really get to thinking about it, do those family values still hold the same relevance and weight today in the world? Not when everybody's saying chase the bag. Hey, how catchy do you think it'll be? I don't know. I might need to try it. Maybe I need to be the pioneer on that. I'm going to start saying chase the family. And I'm going to start saying chase yourself. I'm going to see how many people coincide with it. Let's see how much traction it gets in comparison to chase the bag. And this isn't to that individual. I'm saying that's something everybody says. That's like all over. Shit, I be chasing the bag. That's all I care about, chasing the bag. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that challenge. Let's see how many people will gravitate if I say, yeah, let's chase ourselves. Chase your purpose. Man, first thing people going to say is, that sound like some shit a broke nigga say. We know how we go. Nah, he got to be broke because that's what he talking about. He's talking about some chase yourself, nigga. Nah, y'all already got it twisted. So let's go ahead and let's recap on these questions briefly. All right. Of course, this is when I give my response back to it. What do you believe the purpose of life is? Why were you created? It's not how we should ask that question. It's the simple fact of when you question it in a question format. So, what do you believe the purpose of life is and why were you created? You know what my answer is? Whatever your answer is for yourself. We are so caught up in everything else. Who's saying this? Who's saying that? Who gossiping this? Who about that? And don't nobody sit up here and think to themselves, man, why the fuck am I even here in the first place? Distractions. Number 2, are you connected to your surroundings or are you just existing in existence? Which is it? Now, again, most of these are for what do you see it as for yourself. See, I'm not asking you to answer the question for me. I am proposing the question so that you can go with inside yourself. Stop being distracted. It's a difference between diverting attention to entertainment for the source of release. And there's a difference between I just attract to the distraction because I never want to go inside here. This right here, I don't want to step inside there. You talking about landmines and barbed wires. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, attack dogs and some more shit. I can't go inside myself. Why would I go inside myself? You know how painful that is, Smitty? You know what gives me actual, like, I feel better is when I'm able to look at other people's bullshit, not mine. You know, I'm trying to, you know, my roses don't really smell like boo hoo hoo hoo. They don't. My roses don't really smell like boo boo. At least I like to believe it don't. I shouldn't even have to flush the toilet, god damn it. As in, AKA, get rid of the waste in your life. I shouldn't have to do that. I should just be able to take a shit and just let it sit there. You can go right on in behind me. No, because you know what happens? Then I take on your funky ass shit. And don't nobody want to smell that, god damn it. And I say G-O-T, not G-O-D. So don't get me twisted. Got damn it. Not our loving creator, for those who want to be holier than thou. All right? NPCs, right? Non-playable characters, right? A non-playable character is only the person who makes up and only exists in the drive of non-motion. You are an NPC. You are a non-playable character. Point blank, period. You're a non-playable character when you make yourself irrelevant to what it is that you're supposed to be doing in your purpose. Non-playable character. Matter of fact, let's change the P. Non-purposeful character. See how I just simplified that? You are a non-purposeful character. What we got? I don't want to ignore nobody. And shout out, Mr. Center of the World. I see you, bruh. Okay, now, shout out to you. All right, I got to Miss Joy. Boom, let's go ahead and get to it, though. Right? So, really, when I think about an NPC, a non-playable character, I think about non-purposeful characteristics. You need to redefine your purpose so that you can be a playable character. Think about the people who are non-playable characters. I guarantee you there is nobody who genuinely has a purpose and is non-playable. How does that even work? Right? And signs of the times. Signs of the times. Right? Do we still, are we still waiting on the end of times, or is it already here? I'm going to ask that question again, right? Are we still waiting on the end of times, or is the end of times still here? Is the whole judgment day and death right up underneath your nose and you just can't smell it? Or is it the fact that we have continuously seen that there are the end of times and nobody wants to take the time to recognize it? We don't want to try to pay attention to that. Why? Because we got a Cardi B story to talk about. We got a whole bunch of non-relevant shit that has nothing to do with your well-being. That's what's supposed to be most important. Did you follow me on where I just went on that, or is Smitty just running his monkey ass mouth again? You let me know. And if you didn't get it, then just play it back and sit on it, because I'm not repeating myself. All right. So this question right here, signs of the times. Do we, are we still waiting on the end, or is the end already here? Now, again, your interaction, your thoughts, that means something. Let's go ahead and move to the next one before we get up out of here shortly. Oh, wow. I did a whole hour. I thought I was going to be up here like 30 minutes. That boy done put some time in by himself. Look at that shit, boy. I'm trying to tell you. We moving on up in the world to the East Vine. All right, let's get it. What are some daily moments that feel different today as opposed to when you were younger? What are some daily, what are some daily moments in your life today that feel different as opposed to when you were younger? And the main thing, like I said before, is connection. Connection is so distorted. Communication and connection. The CCs, as I would call it, the CCs, the communication and the connection, right? And what I've been noticing is that when it comes to that lack of connection, it brings about what we now would call individualism. So if you really took time and tap in, are people really individualized, or is that just our excuse for not wanting to admit I'm disconnected? Let it sit, let it marinate. Moving along. When you think of your childhood dreams, do they align with what it is that you think today? Your childhood dreams, whatever you wanted to be when you were growing up, do you still feel that way today? And again, briefly, my answer is no, because I am no longer of a boy and I don't think as boys do. I don't have the same desires. Shit. I don't have the same desires as a young man that I do as somebody reaching slowly his classic stages of life. My mentality is not the same. As a matter of fact, anybody who has not changed from a certain point to a certain decade, that's arrested development. So I would say it's healthy to not have the exact same thought process. Dreams and desires are different. You could always have wanted to be an NFL player or a scientist since the age of 6. And now you're like Dexter's Laboratory and you sitting up here, you know what I'm saying? Doing that in your later days. I'm not speaking about that dynamic. Let me read the question again. What are some daily moments in your life you feel are different as opposed today as opposed to yesterday? Okay. What does this say? I got you. I'm gonna read that in a second. So when it comes to what are some daily moments that feel different, everything feels different. You know, a daily moment that feels different, how I wake up. I used to just pop up and spring up. Now, shit, you better give me about at least 35 to 40 minutes before you even talk to me when I first wake up. I'm not playing. I'm not saying don't say good morning. I'm talking about you trying to have a real discussion with me. You better know if I woke up at 7, don't try to have that discussion with me until it's around 7:30. I'm not hearing nothing right now. See, that's a difference. All right, you want to take it to the physical? I used to be able to go out on the basketball court and I can just run 5 full court games and not get subbed out in the summer. Outside, not in the gym. Y'all comfy. No, we played outside on peach nets. Okay. You know them black circle rings that ain't really a net. We call them peach nets. Used to be out there playing 5 games at a time. Now ask me to do that shit. Shh. And I'm talking about despite the accident. I'm talking about if that never happened. Shh. We going to the gym and I'm bringing Gatorade. We was out there with no bottles of water. Just doing it. But do I feel the same way then that I do now? No, my mentality is shifted. That's why I gave you that quick backdrop, that quick backdrop story, just to give you the example of how you shift, you grow, you should change. You should not be the same from when you was 30 when you turn 40. You should not be the same. As a matter of fact, there's a video that I was playing that says that you don't even have the same molecules and atoms in your body from a year ago, which means that every year those atoms and molecules die, a part of you dies every year. And I don't mean that to be doom and gloom. I'm saying that in the sense of every time something dies, what happens? Something else is reborn. Thus, you're still here. Man, tap in. Tap in. Let's go ahead and get to these last two before we go ahead and have ourselves a wonderful evening. You smell me now? So number 7, and I'm just reiterating, all right, for those who might be coming in late, all right, what do you see now as an adult that you didn't see in your past? Ooh, ooh, I got it. My future coming. What else could there have been besides tomorrow? Let it sink. Let it tap in. What did you see today as an adult? What do you see today as an adult that you did not see in your past? For whatever reason, I was not able to see my future. I wasn't able to see what was going to happen to me by the end of the day. By the end of the day, I was not capable of even seeing. I wasn't able to see that coming, right? I'm trying to tell you right now. So when I think about that, first thing come to my mind. But you know what's funny? I believe that a lot of what I did not see and was not able to see in my past is the reason why I still have a certain degree of sanity that I have today. And when I say certain degree, as in majority. Yes, there are some things that I've seen that drove me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I mean that in the sense of it changed me. I'll never be the same again after those circumstances have taken place. You smell me now? And of course, last but definitely not least, number 8. Do you think that family values still hold the same weight and relevance in today's world as it did yesterday? What? No. No. There's no way to have a true value of a family when most people don't have a true value for themselves. One more again for the win. There's no way for people to have true value in families when most people do not have a true value for themselves. Right? How is it relevant? It's relevant based upon how most people think nowadays. You will hear a lot more people say, I'm all about individualism, as opposed to, matter of fact, most people will look at themselves as independent as opposed to codependent. When we all know everything in your life, it don't have to be a relationship. Everything in your life, you're codependent. You're codependent if a crime happens, you're codependent on a lawyer and the judicial system and the police. If you get sick, you're codependent on a doctor. If something goes wrong in your house, whether plumbing or electric, you need a plumber or electricianist. You depend on other people in your life. For some strange reason, the cutoff point is when it comes to being in a relationship. That's like the cutoff point. So now, for that question to even ask me about families, we most of us can't get past 6 months of dating. The average marriage is under 5 years. What do you and y'all just want to just butt the line, just skip line and go right to family? Nah, I would say personally, we need to address just our everyday human interactions between men and women. People love to look at things that will intensify their fear that they have for the opposite sex. Women will look at, not all, there are a group of women. There we go. I got you, ladies. There are a group of women who will sit around and will look at nothing but things that either man bash or shows us in a bad light. What do you think that woman's response is going to be when she comes across any man, let alone a decent dude? That man going to jump through all types of hoops and hurdles and fire rings because that individual he's dealing with is so damaged that they don't even know how to. Same thing on the man's part. If you continuously look at it as all women are 304s, all women are O's, right? I call them O's. Put the H in there if you like. So all women are O's. Well, when you finally get around a woman that is a family structure, value, morals, not cheating and everything else, you're not even going to know what's in your face. So to land it on number 8, do you think most family values is still upheld? My response would be, is it even still recognized? Does it even have, does it have any acknowledgement? Right. Absolutely right. It's all about that purpose. Absolutely right, Mrs. Center of the World. It's all about that purpose. So those are the 8 factors in which I believe that we should take time and look a little bit deeper into. Like, stop allowing outside influence dictate how it is you move within yourself. And just simply be yourself. But there's absolutely no possible way you can ever be that yourself if you never take time to get to know exactly who and what yourself consists of. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Respect.
You say I'm super fresh, feeling in my humble abode. I'm so fly, I'm so high. I've been all around the past. Modern J one time, I feel good. I'm so amped. I walk for days just to the top. Yes, I'm the cream of the crop from that classy. Gentleman champagne sipping in my left hand. My life is humble as I watch the cookie crumble. Years I stumble, but I'm still moving, still grooving. Sharp shooter with a hard promo. And not too good at this rest of song. Like piss, watch flex my muscle and watch me prop my shit. Super flash, feeling in my humble bag. I so fly, I'm so high, been all around the past. I'm super fresh, feeling in my humble bag. I'm so fly, I'm so high, been all around the past. Ah, ah, ah.
Feet on gravel, wings in my jacket, yeah. Name's Michael. Watch me walk. I step out the sky in some scuffed up boots. Halo tucked low on the faded hood. Tattoo on my arm, say king of war. But I'm blessed every block that they praying I would. See halos and halos of smoke on the corner. Young ones gamble, they feature for quarters. I'm part scripture, part shotgun warning, part quiet boy, part field sergeant in the morning. I talk peace, but I move like a storm. Country soul in the city reborn. Got angels posted on the tenement roof. Say the word once, they gon' circle the troop. Hey, I'm an angel in the brasses, walking like it's Sunday. Mud on my jeans, but I'm heaven on a Monday. Michael from the sticks, but I'm guarding every hallway. Country Papa Dane, king of war in the hallways, yeah. Got a Bible in my left, right hand full of scars. Turn pain into psalms and the busted street stars. If the devil won't smoke, tell him meet me out front. I'm an Indian in the hood and I don't ever run. Gold cross swinging on a Walmart chain. Still shine bright when it dance in the rain. Grandma praying over cornfield rows. Now I'm praying over kids with their face down low. Say stand up son, you ain't built to fall. You a lion in a cage, not a name on the wall. I done wrestled with demons in motel mirrors, so your nightmares never get near you. Got a drawl in my talk, got a limp in my stride. Cause I carried every sin that I couldn't let die. But I lay that down when I walk your block like Lord load me up with love, not shy. I'm an angel in the projects, walking like it's Sunday. Mud on my jeans, but I'm heaven on a Monday. Michael from the sticks, but I'm guarding every hallway. Country Papa Dane, king of war in the hallways, yeah. Got a Bible in my left, right hand full of scars. Turn pain into psalms on a bunch of street stars. If the devil won't smoke, tell him meet me out front. I'm an angel in the hood and I don't ever run. I hear every siren like a church bell ringing. Every cracked window like the choir still singing. Ooh. If you ever feel alone when the night turn cold, just know there's boots on the ground and a hand on your soul. I'm an angel in the projects, walking like it's Sunday. Blood on my jeans, but I'm heaven on a Monday. Michael from the sticks, but I'm guarding every hallway. Country Papa Dane, king of war in the hallways, yeah. Got a Bible in my left, right hand full of scars. Turn pain into songs of the busted street stars. If the devil won't smoke, tell him meet me